My fiance, female, and I, male, are getting married. We've decided that the wedding's going to be child-free. No hate towards children, just to keep it more organized and contained. My brother Chris and his wife have a toddler son who everyone calls a miracle or rainbow baby. He came after several failed pregnancies that lasted for years. When they found out my nephew was included in the no children rule, they tried to convince me to make an exception for him. Chris told me his son is a miracle baby, and his presence at the wedding would bring blessings for my fiance and me. I refused and said no, the wedding's child-free. His wife kept sending my fiance pics of my nephew when he was months old. What does that mean? Again, I told them no, and to stop. My brother told me this might cause a rift in our relationship. I again said no, and explained that the wedding was child-free. He asked again and pointed out how his baby was different, since he was a rainbow, a miracle baby. I again said no and explained that the wedding was child-free. They brought it up when they visited my home, and I knew they weren't going to stop. So I'd made flashcards in advance with the phrase, "The wedding is child-free, period," and pulled them out and started slowly showing them the flashcards one by one in this order. The wedding, with a sticker of the bride and groom, is child, with a sticker of a baby, free, with a sticker of a sign, period, with a huge black dot sticker. They were both stunned. I asked if they got it now, and Chris lost his crap. His wife had already grabbed her stuff and walked out. Chris called me an idiot for doing this and said I disrespected him, his wife, and their son, who's my one and only nephew. He rushed out after we argued. My fiance saw the whole thing and thought it was funny, but my parents and Chris are livid beyond measure. They're telling everyone about the amount of disrespect and mockery I had displayed towards them, and I'm being told to fix it now. Well, I suppose you could have used hand puppets instead, but flashcards seem to have gotten the message across. It makes me insane how some parents think their little bundle of joy should be allowed anywhere, anywhen, anytime, and that child-free never applies to them. It's pretty clear they were going to run this horse up to the altar. You're not the idiot, OP. You should have told them that all babies are miracles, but that you were having a miracle-free wedding. The only miracle at my wedding is that you two are still invited. I am dying of laughter that after getting the no, the parents started sending baby pictures, like that would turn the tide. These people have genuinely lost the plot. Babies are cute, we know this. But no one is that gaga over someone else's kid. Geez, they're raising that kid to think he's God's gift to earth. He's gonna be so narcissistic as an adult. Yep, and this kid is screwed. The parents will spoil the crap out of him, make excuses for any bad behavior, make him a priority in every situation, make life a living nightmare for his teachers, etc. He'll grow up thinking he's better than anyone else, and will have a brutal adulthood once he realizes his friends and coworkers don't give a flying crap that his parents had trouble getting pregnant. OP, you are not a bad brother to give your brother and sister-in-law a night off away from their toddler. If he was only 3 months old and breastfed, and you were getting cranky because they wouldn't come without him, you would be a bit of an idiot. But he's a toddler. He can handle a babysitter watching him. Heaven help the child when he starts school. Look, OP, I'm infertile. I've wanted kids all my life. Hubby and I tried for years, but it'll never happen. Trying almost killed me, so I had to choose. Keep trying and die or stop. I would have loved to help hold the flashcards for you. Heck, I would have gone full-blown interpretive dance for you if that's what it took to get through their thick skulls, that the wedding will be child-free. It's your wedding, your rules. I'm probably going to get an incredible amount of hate for what I'm about to say, but I truly cannot stand my husband's niece. She's becoming a teenager next week, and she is hands down the most entitled brat I've ever met. However, with that said, I'm fully aware that it's her parents' fault. She's autistic and was raised in the worst way possible. Example, being told that she can do no wrong, and she's been raised to use her autism as an excuse for everything she does. Like if she lashes out in anger and hurts someone, it's fine, sweetie, we know you can't control your outburst. Or if she gets something for her birthday that she doesn't like and throws a fit and or breaks said item, well, she didn't like that, You guys should know her enough to know what she likes and doesn't like. She even lashed out and hurt my son once for no reason. He was sitting on the couch, they're the same age. I told my sister-in-law that she kept trying to hit my kid, and this girl said, "I didn't try to hit him, Mom. I did hit him." My sister-in-law starts laughing and goes, "Well, at least she didn't lie." Needless to say, we only see these people once a year because screw all of them. I have a guitar that I was given by my chorus teacher when I was in the 9th grade. I grew up poor and my chorus teacher was phenomenal. He knew I was interested in guitar and gave me his because he knew my family couldn't afford one. It's old, battered, and worn. It has plastic strings. It won't even hold a tune because of how warped it is, to be honest. It's just a crap guitar, but I still have it regardless. It used to be nice, but it spent years without a case and getting banged up by my kids, dropping it, and whatever else. I have since gotten 5 really nice guitars and do not use my old one, and my kids all have their own guitars now as well, so mine hardly gets touched but once a year, if that. It's collecting dust in a corner as we speak. My husband's niece has always had her eye on it. She actually is incredibly smart and musically inclined, so the first time she picked up a guitar, she could keep up with the rhythm and learned the notes almost immediately. My sister-in-law called me last week and said that she's strapped for cash following medical bills. Her husband broke his back. She was distraught because her kid wasn't going to get anything for her birthday on Saturday and asked that I give her daughter my old guitar so she at least has something. I immediately said no. I probably wouldn't even notice it was missing, honestly, but the idea of giving this guitar away to a destructive, entitled child is not something I'm willing to do. The entire family's basically saying I'm an idiot because I don't even touch the guitar. Edit. We weren't invited to her birthday party, so we had no idea her birthday was coming up until my sister-in-law called asking for my guitar. Not the idiot. Entitled child or not, strapped for cash or not, relative or not, you are not obligated to gift anything. Anyone suggesting that you are the idiot is welcome to gift or something out of their pockets. And I sincerely suggest you hide it ASAP before they come over and claim it for themselves, or your husband gives it away. It seems like you're struggling with some guilt or unsure feelings because you recognize that the guitar has no literal actual monetary value, but you spent time here describing where it came from and how much it meant at the time. So I'm here to tell you that sentimental value is value, and you don't have to feel bad about refusing to give it up. Please do not get rid of it. Sister-in-law has many other options for cheap or even free instruments. Niece does not need that particular one. I'm probably going to be in the minority. I would be embarrassed to give an old beat-up guitar to someone for their birthday. You should be the bigger person and reach out to the mom and calmly say, "Hey, the guitar has a lot of sentimental value, but I'm happy to help chip in on a group gift." My wife, 29, is 4 months pregnant and cannot stand the smell of alcohol. Even the smallest whiff of your breath or clothes will send her spewing. I, 31 male, love whiskey in the evening time. I would drink a glass, proceed to brush, and use mouthwash so my wife doesn't barf on me when she sees me. Yet she runs away from me whenever I'm a meter away because she claims she can still smell it from a mile away. We haven't even kissed at night due to this, and I've tried everything to eliminate the smell, yet she still believes she can smell it, which makes her lose it completely. A couple of days ago, I changed my clothes, showered after it, and told her that I promised the smell is gone. She proceeded to hug me and quickly ran to the bathroom to vomit. Then she comes back to tell me that she isn't coming near me at night until this baby comes out. She tells me that she was right and that I'm being inconsiderate to her introduction to motherhood. Even though I think I'm being overly considerate and trying my best to get rid of this scent that she can smell from a mile away, she's proceeded to move into our guest bedroom until the foreseeable future. I told her she was overreacting and that it was quite disrespectful. She told me that she isn't trying to be any of those things. She just can't stand the smell of alcohol. Am I the idiot? Info. Why are you more dedicated to your nightly drink than your pregnant wife? I tried everything, and my immediate thought was, except not drinking. I would go without if it was making a loved one literally sick. I love my alcohol more than my wife is a terrible look for a relationship. Yeah, can you imagine how inconsiderate she is for sleeping in another room to stop herself from getting sick because he can't go a single night without a drink? I'm baffled at the mental gymnastics going on here. I've tried everything, except of course, just not drinking for even one night. Dude's not ready to be a parent. Wait, OP, you think she's being disrespectful? Pregnant women often have a very heightened sense of smell. If you think about it, it can be a very helpful pregnancy symptom because eating something rotten and/or getting food poisoning can be especially dangerous. So, evolutionarily, it's helpful to have a good sense of smell while pregnant. What sucks is having a husband who thinks that you're being sick is somehow inconvenient for him. You are the idiot. I say this because I'm in the exact same situation right now, except my vice is beer. I gave up beer when I was around her. Do you know why? Because she's growing my child. We as men have literally no idea or way of understanding what they're going through, and each pregnancy is unique. So stop. It won't be that long, I promise. And if you can't stop, please seek treatment. Every year, we have dinner on Thanksgiving at 4 p.m. It's been that way since I was a kid, and my parents still host. This gathering includes my parents, my wife, my kids, and various aunts, uncles, and cousins. It also includes my sister. She had to work this year, but would be home by 6:15. My parents decided to push the celebration back so my sister could eat with us. I wasn't very happy about it because we usually go see my in-laws for dessert, but I figured we could eat quickly and be out of there by 7 to go to their house. 6:30 rolled around and my sister was nowhere to be seen. My mom called her and she said she had to wait for her replacement to come in, but she was on the way and would be there at 6:45. Everyone agreed to wait for her to eat, but my wife shot me a glare. I told my mom we had already waited long enough and had already changed the gathering around for her, and I had other places to be. My kids were hungry and getting cranky, and my wife was angry. I started making a plate, so did my wife and kids. My mom gave up and said, "Fine, everyone eat." So everyone started picking, but it was awkward. My wife and kids and I finished eating and were getting ready to leave when my sister got home. Then everyone started making plates and talking and sitting at the table. My wife and I left with the kids and went to our in-laws. The next day, my mom called me and told me I was rude, and it was only an extra 15 minutes. But it was an extra 30. She said no one cared but me, and after I left, most of my family commented on how unnecessary it was to act that way and that I made things uncomfortable. My sister also feels really bad now because it's her fault all this happened. So now my mom is embarrassed and says she's not sure if she wants to host Christmas. But I think I did nothing wrong. You are the idiot. Stop double booking. 1 year your folks, 1 year your wife's folks. The dinner was scheduled to start at 6:15. The fact that it was held at 4 in previous years is irrelevant. You knew in advance that this would be the time, and it was up to you to make appropriate decisions. If that meant declining one of the 2 events you were invited to, so be it. You allotted 45 minutes to attend your family's Thanksgiving dinner? In what world does a person think they can get in and out of a full Thanksgiving dinner in 45 minutes? Many family dinners don't start right at the given time, even when nobody arrives late. People take time to socialize and hang out a bit before they eat. Sometimes the host and hostess is still cooking past the appointed time. And yes, sometimes people are running a bit late and the hostess decides to wait for them before serving. Then, because you failed to properly plan enough time to attend the event over the hostess's objections, you went ahead and served yourself the food she prepared when she wished to hold it for the late arrival. Seriously, I'd have been outraged if I hosted this dinner and someone did this. She was the hostess, and it was her call to wait on the late guest or begin without them. Yep, he didn't even make the demands. He straight up made himself a plate and started eating. I wonder if the host is a saint for not yelling at them or throwing them out. OP, your rudeness and sense of entitlement far exceed any impropriety of the late guest that was held up at her job. I, 30 female, love my husband, 27. He's charming, quick-witted, handsome, and funny when he wants to be, and he's the type of person everyone is drawn to. I was the one to ask him out, say I love you, kiss him, plan our dates, and file the paperwork. He's not particularly affectionate. I think he wouldn't have proposed to me had his family not expected it. Nevertheless, I'm very happy. Recently, I went to a dermatologist about 2 growing spots on my body. It turns out that they were semi-benign tumors that could turn cancerous. I had them removed. I asked my longtime friend, Amy, 30 female, to support me, as the surgeon required someone else to take care of me. Amy's a very touchy-feely person, and we're basically sisters. I felt that I needed affection. I did the surgery on a week when my husband would be away, and it went smoothly. My husband noticed the bandages yesterday and asked if I got hurt. I had to tell him the truth and told him that it was a small operation. He said it was cruel of me to ask Amy instead of him. I told him I didn't want to burden him, and he got even more irritated. My parents heard about this and told me that I did the right thing. But when I told my friends, they said it was an idiot move, especially Amy, who took a day off to help me. Hold the phone. You didn't even bother telling him? You are the idiot, OP. You probably shouldn't be married if you can't trust your spouse to care for you or be there when you need surgery. That first paragraph is confusing, LOL. So you love your husband, and he's all these amazing things, but he also puts no effort into your relationship and doesn't want to marry you? What? I comfort my husband. He's kind of like a fancy ice cube. Beautiful, refreshing, but cold. He sounds like a trophy. Really weird and unhealthy that you don't feel like you can tell your husband about an operation you're having, regardless of who comes with you or not. Since I don't understand your relationship at all from that first paragraph, I have no idea who's out of line here. I don't think you're an idiot for asking your friend. She could say no if taking a day off was a big deal. Sometimes you just want a close friend, especially if your husband isn't naturally a great caregiver. All of that said, everything you mentioned sounds like a one-sided relationship. This was one time you really needed your husband, and you didn't feel like you could rely on him. Not being super affectionate doesn't get you a free pass not to be a kind human being. Why can't you speak with your husband about your health? My husband finds anything emotionally burdensome. I was really scared and I wanted to be comforted. So I picked the person who could come and would comfort me, Amy. I would have picked my mom, but she's getting up there in age and can't drive 5 hours to take care of me. Same for my dad. You don't say that he loves you. Funny when he wants to be. Yikes. You're the one doing all the emotional labor. He's mad because you made him look bad by asking your friend, who's all the things he's not. He's mad about his image. He's not remotely concerned about you. Please pay attention to this, and please do not have any children with this person. Not the idiot, but you're married to someone who sounds narcissistic. Seriously? OP says he hates all of her friends, including Amy. Amy also doesn't like her husband, so his charm hasn't fooled her. He gets annoyed by her problems, even health ones. It's a burden to him. He doesn't plan dates. He didn't take one single first step in their relationship progression. He sounds like a true joy to live with.